Hey, what's going on, guys? So one of my other videos, I was joking around a little bit, having some fun in the backyard with my family and my kid, and I had one of my homemade blowguns, and I actually had a couple people ask me about it and wonder what I used to make it, and also, how I made my darts. So here's the blowgun. And the blowgun itself was just actually made out of a 4-foot section of outdoor heavy-duty PVC, and all I did here was I just put a union on it. That way it gave my mouth something to fit around a little bit better than over the top of this, and just got a little bit more impact out of it. Now, most of you guys know how to make the blowgun itself, but when it comes to the darts, some people are not quite sure. So today I'm going to show you how to make all these. And you'll see that this one is a little different because I actually have a thorn from a locust tree on this one for maximum impact. So let's get into it, and I'll show you guys how I make these things. Okay, now here are the items that you're going to need: a pair of scissors, a pen, some sort of lighter, some super glue, your bamboo skewers, barbecue skewers, some sort of candle, vegetable oil, or in this case I'm going to use olive oil, and a shot glass. Okay, so let's work on the shaft of the dart itself and get this section done here. First thing you're going to need is your barbecue skewers. Now, you're going to have to start taking them out of the bag and finding the ones that are as straight as you can find. You can look down it, see if it looks straight, and then also roll it on a flat surface and see if it rolls somewhat decent. You're not going to find one of these things that are perfectly straight, but you can find some that are decent. Next thing I'm going to do is get a candle, light it. Okay, now we're going to take our vegetable oil or olive oil, take our shaft. We're actually just going to put it right in the bottle, get that oil on it, flip it over, do the back side, pull it out. Let's set the oil aside. Okay, now we're just going to run our shaft along the candle, rotating it. Going to get that heat to penetrate inside of that skewer, and it's going to get deeper into the skewer with that oil on it without burning the wood real bad. You start to see smoke come off of your shaft. That's when you know it's getting ready to take flame, so move it over to another part of it. Just be careful towards the tip. You You can hold the tip a little bit above the flame so the flame does not actually get on it, because it will ignite much quicker and much faster than the rest of it. Okay, now once the shaft starts feeling hot to the touch, to where you feel like you're going to be burning your fingertips, you know that it's good and hard. Blow a candle out, set it to the side, move on to the next step. Okay, so the next thing you're going to need, just a regular old piece of paper, a shot glass, and a pin. Set the shot glass on. We're going to trace around it to make a circle. Now, depending on how many of these darts you're making is how many circles you're going to make. Make as many as you want. Now we're going to cut this circle out. Okay, now after our circle is cut out, we're going to take it and we're going to fold it in half. Now we're not going to put a sharp crease in it, just a small little crease so that we can see where that middle line is. And now we're going to fold it over itself the other direction, doing the same thing. We're going to do that until we can see an intersection or the middle of the circle. Now, on one of the lines, we're going to cut up to that center point so that you have something like this. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to fold it under itself and over the top of itself and roll it into a cone, just like that. Once you do that, take a little bit of super glue, dab it on just so it will seal and hold shut. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking, well, the paper is not going to hold up very long. Just wait, you'll see. Okay, so once the cone is sealed, then go ahead and finish sealing the crease. Once the crease has been sealed, we're going to take the super glue and we're going to give the entire cone a light coating of super glue. And as what this is going to do is this is going to turn this paper into almost like a plastic, a hard plastic. that will last far longer than just a simple piece of paper. Let it dry as you rotate it though. You don't want to stick it to your fingers, which you're gonna do. I still do it. Okay, so the whole thing has been coated. Super glue. Now I'm just going to let it dry. Okay, now once your cone is dry, you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut the tip off. Not very much, just a little bit, okay? Now, after you take that little bit off, you're going to take the point side of your shaft and run it through, and you're going to see if it will slide down the shaft. If it will not slide down, just trim a little bit more off the tip. Just a little bit at a time. Again, won't go down, a little bit more. You can always take a little off, but you can't put it back on, so. Okay, so it will slide on. Next thing is, let me grab my blowgun. Now, to ensure that it's going to fit into this, you're going to take the cone and you're going to turn it upside down and set the cone right in the barrel. Now, you're not going to push it into the barrel, you're just going to let it sit in there, and where it stops, you're going to mark around the paper. And I'm going to have to get a Sharpie for that because the pen does not work that great. Okay, I made a mark where it sits in the barrel. I'm just going to trim that part off. And now what's left, I will run back through. Again, get a little bit of your super glue. Put a couple dabs on it, straighten it up, let it set for just a second or two. And after it's set, go back around, super glue it on. Again, let's let it dry. Okay, now once your super glue is dry, you're done. Or I like just going back with a Sharpie and coloring it in. I don't necessarily like that that white. Granted, it's going to make it easier to find if you miss your target, but I'm not too worried about losing these things. I mean, they're very simple to make, so just not worried about it. Anyway, I'm not going to get too carried away making it perfect. So now you got that. Now, if you like putting different camouflage designs and stuff in it, just take your lighter again. Now that you've wiped your oil and everything else off, this thing is going to burn a little bit easier. So just take your lighter, roll it around in spots until it starts to scorch the wood. Just like that, you got some nice little patterns in it. Now, you also saw that I put a locust thorn on this one. And basically I just gathered up a whole bunch of locust thorns and I've cut them off, as well as cut the tip off here. Got some pine pitch, melted it, had it on. Simple as that. It's not going to be very durable. It's good for maybe one shot and one shot only, and then this is going to break off. I could make it more durable, but at the same time I want to make sure that this thing is as aerodynamic as possible. So the fact that these things are so easy to make, and you know, the materials to make them are readily available, I'm not too worried about it. So let's shoot this thing. Alright, I don't have any good targets, so I'm just going to use a box. Good old boulevard wheat. Not too bad. Penetration I'm getting. Anyway, you guys can probably hear that I got birds flying around all above me and everything else. And it's very tempting to take out one of those guys, but you know what? I'm not going to eat it, so I'm not going to kill it. So, you guys try this. It's a lot of fun. It's a good way to get kids involved in hunting, at a, you know, being relatively safe. I enjoy getting frogs with these. So anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Have a good one.